I did not want to make this video, but I have to because people are getting on my nerves. Is Luffy a hard-working character, or did his genetics play a major role in his progress within the story? I will cover everything you need to know in this video in as much detail and evidence as I need to provide for each of my statements. So yes, I brought receipts. So for anyone who thinks Luffy actually got carried by the will of D, first of all, I'm really sorry for your loss. Secondly, I will be proving you wrong. Let's get the intro done and get started, shall we? Let's start with the elephant in the room. Not you, Zunisha. Keep walking, big buddy. The will of D. What is it and what does it grant the person who has it? Well, I can't answer that first part. We don't know what it is. We just know that some people have the initial. But I can answer that second part. It means you will die smiling. That's about it. Doesn't really guarantee fortune or achievement or that you will have a good or virtuous life. What we can say is, people with the D clan crave freedom in one way or another, and most end up as pirates, but Garb is a Marine Vice Admiral, so there is a clear diversity. In short, having the D initial doesn't guarantee anything at birth. Your birth is what determines how you start your life, and how you live that life is what determines your fortune in your existence. From Luffy, who always wanted to be the king of the pirates, to Blackbeard, who just wants a pirate nation, maybe, and a ton of power, to Trafalgar Law, who we don't even know. He just wants to know what the initial actually means. So as you can see, there's no actual path you follow directly when born with it, and doesn't really grant an advantage in the One Piece verse. If anything, it makes you an enemy of the most dangerous people in the verse, the Celestial Dragons. Now to address the people who were saying that the initial grants you haki. It doesn't. Anyone can learn armament haki and observation haki. You just need to awaken it. As for Conqueror's haki, you do need to be born with the potential to awaken it. And it's not hereditary. You just need the will to become a king, and you will awaken it later. So no, it's not a D-clan thing, since both Kaido and Big Mom have it, and they don't have the D-clan initial. Moving on. Luffy was born with Conqueror's haki, so it's a genetic trait. And to that I say, that specific haki is not passed down from parent to parent. You specifically need the will of the king or the will of the supreme king in order to awaken it and use it. There doesn't seem to be a familial tie involved. And listen to this. Neither Dragon nor Garb have ever been confirmed to have Conqueror's haki. So who exactly do you think Luffy inherited it from? If it is in fact genetic, tell me in the comments. Let's now cover the Gum Gum fruit, or as it's now called, the Hito Hitonomi model Nika. There were people claiming that Luffy having this fruit is genetic based, and again I'm going to interject and ask if people even know what genetics even mean. It means being born with it. It must be in your DNA at birth, and as any actual One Piece enjoyer knows, Luffy ate the fruit at 7 years old, spending his entire childhood with no fruit at all. So that's debunked right there. In fact, Luffy spent 10 entire years training with the fruit before leaving the island to become a pirate. So it wasn't like just eating the fruit gave him instant power. Luffy couldn't even walk after eating it. He went from having bones to being made of rubber. There is some precedent to say that Luffy was the only one who could awaken the fruit, since he is the reincarnation of Nika. But that's not exactly accurate either. Luffy isn't the reincarnation of Joy Boy, he just inherited his will, not him as a whole. Joy Boy is an ideal of sorts, the fight for freedom with a joyful smile. But I will concede that point. The only reason Luffy got Gear 5th is having Joy Boy's will. But I will not just sit here and allow the argument that Luffy having Gear 5th is some kind of end-all be-all. He still lost to the Gorosei, rather badly might I add, and Kizaru gave him a run for his money as well. Heck, in order to even beat Kaido, he had to use an immense amount of haki just to win. So Gear 5th isn't the answer to everything. Haki is. The story makes this very clear. The path to freedom and the path to victory is not won through a devil fruit. You need strong haki in order to win. Speaking of haki, was Luffy granted this on a silver platter? Not quite. After getting his behind tenderized at Marineford, rather thoroughly might I add, he had to spend 2 whole years training to learn haki, and didn't exactly master it fully there either. He had to gain better mastery as the story continued, finally mastering observation haki while losing to Katakuri, and mastering armament with Hyogoro after losing to Kaido. So Luffy isn't exactly handed wins either. Even with all his supposed power and genetics, Luffy has always needed help to win his fights in some way or another. Even with Dofi he had to lose in order to win. As a matter of fact, fact, everything Luffy currently has, he had to train for. He wasn't just given things on a silver platter or because he was born with them. Everything Luffy has, and the entire message of One Piece is, hard work is what ends up paying off. You don't just get born with privilege. Unless you're a celestial dragon, in that case, yeah, you always just win by birth. But that kind of thing exists in most series and doesn't really apply to Luffy. He had to work for what he has. But that pretty much covers all the bases, I think. If I missed anything, feel free to ask me questions in the comments and I will answer them there. Alternatively, you can join my Discord server, the Spectre Society, where we can freely discuss there, or you can join my community. But if you prefer a more secluded conversation, my Instagram DMs are always open and my business email is on my channel page. For any paid videos, I also have a PayPal in my LinkTree, which is also on my YouTube profile. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Peace, my friend.